It's Jeff Koga here, and welcome to the actual scope. And if this is the first time you're on my scope, make sure you watch the actual link in the replay section. And this is all about the blood sport of media and how to double, triple, or even quadruple your income moving forward. So before I get started, let me know if this is the first time being on my scope by putting in the word new, as well as your business and your name, just in case you have a funky screen name. Hey, what's going on? We have a couple people joining in right now. So again, as I said, we're going to start talking about the blood sport of media and how to double, triple, or quadruple your income in literally the next 12 months, okay? And how this is going to impact your life and your business, and regardless, even if you own a business or if you're actually working. So let me know if it's the first time you're actually on my scope by typing in new, so that way I get a context of who you are, what you're all about, and what kind of business that you're in, so that way I can give you some better context that will go ahead and attach to your that'll have better meaning for you. So let me know what's going on, and we'll wait a couple more minutes before a few more people go log on actually. And I'm actually going to, on Tuesdays I go to church, so I'm actually headed there right now, and I have a few minutes, so that's why I decided to hit the record button, the scope button, and to talk to y'all. So great evening. So people don't talk like that usually anymore, you know, like great evening. So I like hearing that kind of stuff. You know, I'm in Los Angeles, so people don't even say hi most of the time, people here, you know, so it's kind of weird, you know. So what's going on? So yeah, so I'm gonna park actually in the parking lot right now. I'm actually, like I said, I'm going to church. Start a membership site. That's great. Okay. Yeah, what kind? Let us know what kind. And then I'll start talking about the blood sport of media and how to double, triple your income. So I'm on the Central Coast, okay? Okay, yeah, I'm in Southern California actually. So I actually scope. It's funny because I actually was able to wear a scarf. Actually, you don't get to wear a scarf too much, you know, in Southern California. So I'm actually pretty darn happy about that. So what's happening, Sniper? Let me know, Sniper, how your launch is going so far. Have you made any sales, man? Let me know. Let me know if you haven't made any sales and stuff like that, you know, because I would love to hear. Oh, get paid to scope your passion. Look at that. That's an interesting topic, you know. And I'm trying to find an area that actually has good lighting. Great title for your scope. Yeah, thank you. You know, I've been split testing all kinds of titles actually on the scope, and so which is pretty cool in my opinion, I think. I think this is a pretty good angle. Hold on, give me a second here. I'm parking, folks, so I apologize for the fact that I'm driving and I'm doing this, right? They say don't drink and drive, don't scope and drive, ladies and gentlemen. So all right, so let me turn off my car here, and then let me turn off the lights here, and then let me turn on the lights, and so that way you know, you guys can yeah, so you guys can actually so I can start talking to you guys. So give me a second here. Yeah, so all right, so let's start getting into this, man. So what the reason why I decided to do this scope is this, okay? Is that there's too many people out there that, especially like right now, right? What do you notice number one on the news, right? Or better yet, let me ask a different question, okay? What is the most powerful man-made machine that actually is impacting our lives, okay? Type that in the actual chat box there. Let me know what your guys' guess is. Man-made machine. Okay, so we got a couple of people saying news. Okay, what else? Type it in. So, because it's going to be based on that, and that's going to be the starting point, and then from there I'm going to start diving down a little bit lower and lower. Okay, CNN. Okay, so spacecraft. Okay. Okay, all right, so violent iPhone. Okay, so we got a different mixes. Okay, so my opinion is the number one. Okay, and it's a little bit different now because we're in a transitional phase, I believe, but I'm a firm believer it's the actual TV, right? TV. Okay, and why do I say that's the most powerful? Okay, is because I don't know if you guys do this at your guys' house, okay, but have you actually, like, in your living room, right? Is your living room arranged in a way where the TV is the central point? Okay, think about that, okay? Is your living room arranged in a way where the TV is the central point? Okay, so that means that people are on there watching the media, okay, and watching news and watching whatever show it might be, right? Some people said the most powerful machine is CNN News and stuff like that, but I actually just say it's TV. Okay, and it wasn't like that before, right? Because when people actually created, I think when it initially started, there was only like three main channels, and three networks, I mean, and they would actually deliver value, okay, deliver reports, okay. And as someone said, I don't watch TV, and that's kind of part of it. What I was going to talk about is that I don't watch TV. There was a time in my life, I started this in 2009, and I didn't even own a TV, okay. Like, so people will come to my living room and I wouldn't even have a freaking TV, and they'll be looking at me like all weird and be like, Jeff, why don't you have a TV? And then I just have like a painting, right, or something like that, and they'll be like, what the heck is going on, right? And I'll tell them I'm on a low information diet, where I said, hey, you know what, I don't want to go ahead and watch that kind of stuff, because it's going to negatively impact me, and it's going to go ahead and influence my mind, right? And there's a reason, and the reason why I want to bring this up is, who has actually ever read the book Think and Grow Rich? Okay, and or maybe things like big ideas, right? Think and Grow Rich, me, right? And a lot of if you notice, like a lot of the personal development books, right? It's all about mindset, right? And it starts off with mindset, okay? And TV, as someone just said right now, it's too negative, and that's absolutely correct, okay? But here's the most scariest part now, okay? And why I say it's the blood sport of media. All right, and because I don't know I know some people are out of this country, right? But in the United States right now, we're in currently a election campaign year. We're going in where we're about to have a new president, okay? And even like right now, in the world, we had some couple things happen in Paris, and I'll talk about why this is a blood sport, okay? I tested this out because we had a conversation with my friends and says, hey, you know what? Facebook is recognizing what your habits are and what you're liking, what you're clicking, okay? So I said, you know what? Let me test this out. So I ended up liking a Republican candidate, okay? All right, and I started clicking on a couple likes, right, and stuff like that, and guess what happened to my news feed? Bunch of that particular candidate's information started popping up, okay, and boom, 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 started popping up, all right, and in my news feed, and I'm just like, okay, this is interesting. So I did that for about a week or so, right, getting that type of that type of news media where people are basically saying, yeah, they're awesome, this candidate is awesome, right? And then about 7 to 10 days later right, I decided to go the complete opposite, okay, and I said, you know what, let me go ahead and like a Democratic candidate, and I started liking that, and guess what happens? Seeing a bunch of different actual articles, videos about that particular candidate, okay? And why it's so dangerous is this, and I'll kind of tie it into how it doubles and triples your income and stuff like that, okay? So does your internet provider, where it's spam emails, mailed ads. Yep, exactly. And so how I'm going to tie this into the income, I'll talk to you about in a little bit. But what's happening right now is because of that, right? We have way too much negative things that are going on, where it's not giving us any type of value, in my opinion, where you're not getting any type of fulfillment of saying, okay, yeah, it's going to help you move forward, right? And there's an old saying that says, what your mind conceive, it can achieve, right? You've heard that before, Think and Grow Rich, and it's so true on that, right? Is because before I made my first millions, I wrote on my actual one of my best friend's wall at that time, right, at his house, on his closet door, $1 million kid in the making. Right, and I signed it, and I said I'm gonna make $1 million before 21, right? And guess what happens? I did that, right? And I didn't get to keep it all, right? Because I realized really $1 million, there's a difference between gross and versus net, right? Okay, but I did rev out $1 million, right, before 21, and I thought I was the king of the world, right? And it all had to do because I programmed my mind to actually think and think wealthy thoughts, okay? Because there's a saying, like even on Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? And anyone that has read any of their books, right, you'll know that now you can be poor, okay, and poor is a mentality, and you can be broke, but broke is being temporary, meaning you have no money in the bank account, but really your mind can be wealthy. Now, why is this important, and why is it important now and today, okay, is because as you're going through and watching the news, right, is that yes, there are things that are going on in this world that is important, okay, like the attack in Paris, okay, but really I tell people to stop watching that type of stuff and just feed your mind with positive things, okay? Things that are going to impact your life, okay? So read books, okay? Audio books, listen to speeches, right? And reprogram your mind so that way you can go ahead and achieve the things that you want. That's the starting point. Facebook marketing for Obamacare. That's that's funny. So that's my thing that I'm telling you guys, because I've been doing this for now this year, about reading about a book a week or so, and I listen to an audio tape, and some of the ones I've read about 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Okay, and I constantly listen. Okay, and so you guys have to do that. Okay, and when you start doing that, magical things will happen. Where people ask me all the time, it says, Jeff, why do you know so much? It's not that I have somewhat a higher IQ or anything like that. It's just more of, I just read a lot, okay? And that's what it really boils down to. I think, people stop, education after they think that they graduate high school or college, Me, for one, I didn't go to college, right? But I know for a fact that I have read more books than someone that has taken their master's or even their PhD, so because my wife actually has her master's in public health and stuff like that, and she's even thinking about getting her PhD and stuff like that, and she even says, wow, I didn't realize how much books you actually read, right? You think I have licensed agents ready? Do you think that work? I'm not sure in what context that question was for, so I wouldn't be able to answer it, but do that coming up into the New Year's, right? Make sure that you actually do that for your life and for your business, okay? Is to start picking up a book and reading it, listen to it on audio tape, and continuously build, okay? And one of the ones I'm going through right now, again, this is about my 3rd time going through this, is a guy by the name of Ryan Holiday. Trust Me, I'm Lying. The Confession of a Media Manipulator, right? I think that's the Confession of a Media Manipulator. I think that's the word that he uses, yeah. And only self-help books or any books? I say any book, okay? Any book that interests you, right? Like for me, self-development, business, high-level strategy, marketing books, those are stuff that interests me. But start off, if it interests you in whatever it is, start from there, right? You got to start from where it stands, because like certain books, I just can't, okay? Yeah, there you go. And even more, okay? So, like some of my mentors, man, they read a lot of books, and I just can't, I don't have the patience to sit and actually read. I'm trying to get in more accustomed to that, right? And, but I do audiobooks, but, you got to do that. That's your starting point of everything. And then the rest will kind of fall in itself. So why did I actually title this How to Double, Triple, Quadruple Your Income? Is because it all starts from there. Who are some of my mentors? I have local guys, right? That people that don't know their name. One of my earliest mentors that I learned from in the real estate business is, Sniper, you do audio 1.5. Yeah. So start challenging yourself to go up to now 2 times speed, and then even 3 times speed, right? You'll be amazed at how much you can actually retain even at 3 times speed, where sometimes it sounds like a chipmunk, right? So like, but you'll be amazed, right? Like I listen to books now on 3 times speed, and it's like and you're in fitness, right? Sniper so it's like working out your muscle, right? And you're gonna get used to it. And certain thick books are about 8 hours long, right? So most of the self-help books are about 4 hours long. So if you do it on 3 times speed, man, you'll be done in like 1 training session, okay? Or 2 days, okay? So that's why you can go through a lot of books, okay? And just if you miss something, go back and just reread it again, okay? But here's the thing, okay? Is information alone is not going to help you double, triple, or quadruple your income. All right? It will absolutely not. Okay? It will not. What you need to do is, they say like what is like, information alone won't do it. Knowledge is not power, okay? Knowledge is not power, okay? People say that too much time. Knowledge is power. No. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is, okay? So you gotta apply something. So my habit I always have is the reason why I go through it so fast on 2 times, 3 times speed is that I just literally try to pick 2 or 3 things that I want to do that week from that particular book, and I try to apply it in my business and in life very, very quickly. And when you start doing that over a course of every single week, you'll be amazed by the compound effect that you'll actually see, okay? And really, like, I think I talked about in a couple scopes ago where I talked about one of the books that I'm reading right now, or I read, previously about 2 or 3 times is, actually I think 3 times, is a book by Darren Hardy called The Compound Effect. Okay, and the number one thing you can take away from that particular book, right, is that he says that entrepreneurs, right, and anyone that has that entrepreneur spirit, doesn't mean that you actually run a business. There's a lot of people with entrepreneur spirits that actually work a 9 to 5. Okay, all right, so but they get paid really well for it. Okay, and what people say is that, entrepreneurs, because of our DNA, we try to hit grand slams all the time, or home runs, as he likes to say, okay, versus trying to just get contact on the bat, right? And I played baseball when I was a kid in Little League and stuff like that, right? So, and my coach used to say that all the time to me, is because, I would swing my hardest and I would always miss, right? And I'm like, man, I keep on missing. And then he would be like, Jeff, just get contact, right? And I actually listened to that, and, I started becoming a better player as a baseball player, right? First, I don't know if anyone knows about Little League, right? But they start you, if you suck, they start you out in the right field, right? Because when you're a kid, no one hits that way, right? So I played there, and then as I got better and stuff like that, they moved me to second base, and then I played a little bit shortstops and even third and stuff like that, right? But really, it boils down to that, is that in business, get contact, okay? And it boils down to contact, and in my opinion, marketing, okay? And I'll kind of tie it up with this, right? Is that what is the best water that you ever drank? Best water. Give a brand out. What's the best water that you've actually drank? Wow, that person parked really, really close. Yeah, water. What's the best type of water that you've ever drank? Okay, let me ask a different question, because maybe this is and I kind of I'll give the answer out, okay? Is what is the most successful restaurant? What's going on, Jamie? Yeah, what's the most successful restaurant? Man, Sniper, you're sharp, man. Yeah, you guys are sharp. Okay, so you guys are sharp. And that was kind of an easy one, right? And the answer is, yeah, McDonald's, okay? And that's absolutely true, okay? Now, is it their food? Is it the best food in the world? No, right? If it's anything, it'll kill you. I've seen some stuff where like a social experiment or something like that, where someone had like a 10-year-old like a cheeseburger from them and fries, and it still looked like it was the freaking the best yeah, the revenue is down a lot. Yeah, and then a lot of the franchisees currently right now is getting killed. And the last report I think I read was like 30 or 40% of the franchisees is actually insolvent and stuff like that, and they're getting lines of credit from McDonald's. I heard about that, right? So location, I'm in Southern California. So but at a point, they were very, very big, right? Okay, and that's why, success in terms of size, global company, right? All right, and I think in even certain countries, they produce more meat, and actually their company consumes more meat than actually certain countries eat on all day, right? Yeah, correct. Okay, so different models, right? But in terms of the size, right? Yeah, Chipotle, but we're talking about global here, right? So, all right, same thing as even water, right? As I go back to that, right? Certain water brands are, and really, let me tie this up, okay? Because I got to hop into actual church. Is that the product, okay, is not. Most people believe that if you have a great product, it'll sell itself, okay? They say, hey, you know what, I got a great product or a great product or service, it'll sell itself. And that's not true, okay? That is absolutely not true. There's even a story about Apple. I don't know if anyone has actually heard of this, right? When it first originally launched, Wozniak, right? Woz, as they like to call him, right? Is Steve Jobs' business partner, right? And at that time, when they first were starting off, Wozniak's dad, I believe, was a rocket scientist or something like that with NASA. And I forgot his name, what it was. I think it was like Jared or something like that, or Jarrett. I forgot the exact name. But his dad, Wozniak's dad, Woz's dad, was really upset that that Steve was taking 50% of the company, and saying, hey, Woz should take more. And literally to a point where Steve Jobs himself, rest in peace, actually cried. Okay, he cried. Actually, he cried, right? And he just said, "Hey, Woz," and he's literally said, "Hey, Woz, you can go ahead and do it yourself," right? But here's the beauty of it is that this is, and that's why Apple is such a great company, is because the founders were just this smart, right? Where Woz knew that he was a great coder and programmer, right, by creating computers, but he knew that he needed a actual sales and marketing guy, right, a genius marketer with the entrepreneur spirit. So he's the one that actually convinced Steve and says, hey, you know what, no, you know what, let's do this together. When Woz's dad basically, you know, said, hey, you know what, Steve, hey, you're a freaking idiot, you know, hey, and then made him cry, okay? So, so why am I telling you this, okay, is that the success and ability to double, triple your income, okay, in the next 12 months boils down to marketing and branding, because that is 90% of the reason why your product sells, all right? I'm sure you have bought products that were really shit and crap, and you actually wonder, you're like, man, what the heck, you know? But at the end of the day, you bought it is because of marketing and branding. And I'm sure if you're in a service industry, right, I'm sure there's people that actually knows less than you, probably delivers, you know, the product or service they do is crummier than you, but guess what? That actual competitor is selling a lot more than you. Why? Is because their marketing and branding is probably top notch. Okay, so as you move forward, because we have about less than 50 actual calendar days in the year, right? I believe like 42 now, and in the working days, depending on what holidays you have, right? We have almost close to 20 working days left in 2015. 20. Okay, so you have to start planning now on what you're going to do moving forward going into 2016, because this year is literally all over. The only thing that you have left maybe is the big sales, holiday sales that you're going to have, depending on what kind of business that you're in and things like that, right? Okay, so plan out what you're going to do for 2016 and focus on your marketing and branding, and focus on what you can do to actually start creating campaigns. Now, here's one thing, okay? Who's on here that ideas focus on rentals for real estate? Okay. I don't know when I talked about that, but I know I didn't talk about it today because I didn't talk about real estate on this scope. So I'll open up the quick Q&A here. So what kind of questions do you guys and gals have? And then I got to wrap this up. So and let me know if you guys got value out of this kind of stuff. I know it's kind of like philosophical, up in the cloud kind of stuff, but it's really important for me to talk about this because, you know, there's way too many times where you know, if I just give tactical stuff, right, a lot of times people don't do anything with it because they're not connecting that on the psychological side, right? SEO clients, okay. I don't know in what context, what questions that you had, so. SEO work, okay, so you do SEO work, okay. That's the infamous, not too many people know about. Yeah, not a problem. Hey, Sniper, did you end up selling any of that ebook that you launched? And let me know what kind of volume you sold. So, no, you're welcome. How to get clients? It depends on what your business model is, right? So, some SEO client, like people that I know of, right? They do like high volume, and it's funny because a lot of like my buddies that do SEO consulting, right? Like if you actually ask about them, okay? In terms of technical knowledge of SEO, right? They don't know too much. They really don't know. I've met more people that know a lot more than they do, okay? But really what they're good at is actually acquiring customers, and they outsource everything else to like Philippines or India to actually fulfill the SEO, okay? Like the silo stuff, right? And things like that, you know? Thank you for retweet, or whoever actually said retweet, or maybe that stands for retweet, okay? Yeah, so how much should you pay a virtual assistant to write a 100-page ebook? I'll talk about that. I talked about that last week, Joe. Yesterday. But let me finish up that thought on SEO and how to get clients, right? So it depends on what your business model is, right? Like some of my friends do super high-end consulting, right? I'm talking about they charge 5 to 10 grand a package on the low end, and sometimes over 20 grand and on the packages. But obviously the people that they go after is people that actually have super deep pockets, okay? Because the worst thing that you can do is if you're trying to go after like SEO clients is trying to get what I like to call the people under $1 million, right? So if they have under $1 million in revenue, the chances of them actually being able to afford that high end is very slim to none, okay? Because most companies only like net after, you know, pre-tax dollars about 10 to 30%. So if they're at $1 million, they're only bringing in about 100 grand to 300 grand. So for you to charge them 20 grand or 30 grand, right? They may not be able to afford it, okay? So you want to go after people over $1 million, right? So I remember one of my buddy was telling me about SEO, and he was just like, yeah, it's funny because people try to get into the consulting space and they try to go after like pizza businesses, right? And I'm just like, what do you mean? And he was like, yeah, they try to go after the hair salons, they try to go after the barber shops, they try to go after the pizza company, they try to go after the small little liquor store, and when it's a lot easier to go after the bigger companies, so that's my recommendation to you, is to go after the bigger companies that can afford you, that can appreciate your work, and so that way you can charge more money. Okay, so and then in regards to Joe about the ebook, right, is 100 page, 500, hard to say because I don't know what type of quality of work that they do. Okay, so but my recommendation is I said this, Joe, to you yesterday, is to chunk that 100 pages into like 30 pages, 30 pages, 30 pages and chapters, and then maybe actually create 3 mini series out of that. Okay, and I think that's going to be faster for you. So that way now you can get an actual, right? So you're not paying them all up front and finding out they do a shit job, right? So chunk it down to 3, and then, because I think you're going to sell that anyway, so you can actually put the first one in and then make the second series an upsell and the third one even upsell too, right? So you can do that kind of stuff. So that's my recommendation to you. What other questions you guys have? Yeah. Always chunk it down, especially if you're just starting off and you have actually never have like sold stuff online or stuff like that, or sold information products, is to, sell it first, right? It's a lot easier to actually make a better product after you sell it. Okay. What sucks the most is actually you create something, you think it's super good, and then it doesn't sell. I've done that a few times. Like I call it those snake eyes or flops, and it sucks. You spend all this time doing something really great and you're just like, oh, it's not selling, it's not making money, and you're just like, and some people yeah, I'm in Southern California, I get to wear this like once in a blue moon, so appreciate it. So yeah, because sometimes when I say that statement, right, is just sell it first, right, they take it the wrong way. They're just like, what do you mean? I don't want to come out with a shit product. Really, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, make sure that you can deliver value in it first. Okay, right, meaning that you're solving someone's problem. Okay, whatever you're doing, is because I'm not selling to just scam people and just sell stuff for the sake of selling stuff. No, if you say, hey, this is what it is, then actually sell it, right? Like, for example, I've done it with like ebooks, and how I've launched it in the past is I've actually straight out told people, I say, hey, you know what, you want to buy my rough draft and pre-buy this and give me some input on what I can need and what really you really liked about it, and if you do like it, I can go ahead and add you as one of the contributors of the actual creation of this book. And I did that, and I sold basically the ebook for like $7, and I actually fulfilled it by delivering it through it via Dropbox. Okay, one of my earlier ones that I did. Okay, so there's so many ways that you can do it. Okay, and even to a point now with like even Facebook has a new function where it says leads, where you can actually start capturing leads without even having a website. Okay, so there is no more excuses whatsoever on what people say, hey, I can't generate leads, or I can't market, and I can't sell stuff online, right? Is because even on platform like Facebook, you can literally start capturing leads without a website, okay, meaning that they can just put in first name and email and stuff like that. You can capture it, man. It's super cool. So I'm testing it out. So far, it works. But I wouldn't say it's the best thing. I think it's going to get better over time. Okay. So what other questions you guys have? I got to hop in a little soon. So and appreciate it for the folks that gave me some hearts. Thank you so much. Sniper, if you're on, let me know if what have you done? Yeah, it's a new update that they did, and especially if Facebook did another update as well, where they have detailed targeting, or they call it flex targeting, I believe, where you can actually do multiple interest groups, and you can even exclude interest groups, right? So for example, I think I said this before, is like, I'll use like an example of real estate, right? Because that's what I use, okay? And I'll give you some other ones on the fly. But for example, a lot of real estate agents wants to go after people that are like first, like buyers, right? Like people that want to buy houses. So there's a demographic where you can actually use as like first-time home buyers. So that's targeting number 1, right? And then from there, you can target number 2 is in the real estate. There's a program called the VA loan where you can actually, literally, if you're a veteran, you can actually get into a home with literally no money out of your pocket, pretty much, okay? So you can target first-time home buyers with a second interest group with an and, okay? So first-time home buyers and they're a veteran. Okay, and then you can exclude. Okay, so you can exclude. All right, so what's the exclusion? You exclude, guess what? The actual competitors. So exclude people that has liked the page of KW, Century 21, Remax, or whatever your competitions pages. And when you do that, those people have not been exposed to those other companies. So it gives you a higher propensity to be able to convert those leads into ultimately more sales, because they're not brainwashed by the other companies, right? So yep, you can target annual income, absolutely, in Florida. You can even do net worth. I captured 105 emails in 8 days using the ebook I created. Okay, did you actually sell that? That's great, man. 108. Did you actually sell that, my friend? Or did you give it out for free? I don't remember. And I wish I can like unmute you. That'd be so super cool. Okay. That's great, man. Oh, for free. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. So what you may want to do, okay, and this is just Sniper, I don't know when you're going to launch your home study, right? But what you may want to do, okay, is to tell them that you're going to do a 2.0 of that book, right? And with that 2.0, and be like, hey, because you got the free, and if you liked it, I'm going to be doing a pre 2.0 on this and coming out on this date. If you're interested, would you like to go ahead and pre-order that copy? And with this copy, it's going to come with bonus training, and then actually charge them money for it. How does Facebook know annual income? They actually buy the information from credit sources and everywhere else, right? As one of the places like Axiom or something like that, right? Okay, so they buy the information. They buy the data points. Same thing as like Google knows how much money you make, right? So it's pretty scary, actually. So yeah, so definitely if you're not marketing on Facebook, you need to. Yeah, that's my recommendation. You absolutely need to be on there. And so that's what I got. So I got to hop in now, folks. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, do throw in a quick share for me if you guys can. So best place to buy list of distressed homes. Depends, man. You can do like pre-foreclosures, or you can do absentee owners. There's a bunch of places. So list. I would recommend going to like your city and get a property violation. So yeah. So thank you, Sniper, for sharing. Email me, Ray, and I'll actually get that over to you. It's actually pretty expensive, but I'll send that to you. So all right, so I got to hop in. That's all I got. I'll be back on later on tonight, and I'll do more tactical stuff for you guys. And if you're on later on tonight, I would love it where I can actually help someone actually create a campaign. That would be pretty awesome. So I'm headed to church, so I will connect with you guys later. Take care, bye bye.